All right, Donald.
Yes, sir.
Donald, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Warren, Ohio.
Tell me about your family growing up.
We came from Cleveland because my father owned what you call at that time, he was on the Chitlin Run. And the Chitlin Run consisted of all the black entertainers who could not go into arenas, so they went into clubs. And during that time, there was a very successful business in Cleveland. My black mafia, they tried to buy it for my father and he refused. So they kidnapped my oldest brothers. And my mother and 3 of her children jumped into a station wagon with everything that they could put into that station wagon and tied to the top of it. And my father said, sent her to California. He said he was going to stay in Cleveland and bring his boys home. And in the process of bringing his boys home, it took him 4 to 5 days. He arrived in California, Compton, California, with his 2 sons. And in the process, he had to surrender his business in Cleveland in order to free his boys. And that was necessary.
How would you describe your childhood in general?
I had a very good childhood. Private schools, spoiled, everything that a child could want.
Good family?
My father was the first black person in California to own a mobile gas station. It got robbed, and my mother forced him to sell it because all she could envision was her children, one of her children getting killed in the process of a robbery. So he sold it. But I must say, I had everything. I didn't know what poor was. I didn't know what rich was. All I knew was we were where we were at. I thought everyone owned a house. I thought everyone had a car. And I thought everyone had a refrigerator full of food. Anything outside of that was unimaginable for me. But then my father died when I was 8. He died unexpectedly because he did not like doctors. And when he did go to the doctor, he was in a stage of cancer that he could not return from. So he died, and this is where I lost all faith in God, Jesus, all that. Is when he died, I did exactly what the private school taught me. To pray that Jesus brought back the dead, allowed the deaf to hear, and allowed the blind to see. That's all I knew, and that's all I was taught. So at that time, I did exactly what they asked me to do. I prayed diligently. I built a little thing in my backyard, and I prayed every day for my daddy to come back. And I had no clue I thought there was no way that God would not give me my daddy back. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't a bad kid. I never stole nothing. I never killed nobody. So why would God not give me what I asked for in a sincere desire? I prayed, and I recall going, as we were at the funeral, when we were at the graveyard, I was waiting for that moment for that coffin to open up, and he said, I'm back, and the family could be back together. That never happened. I remember peering over the hole in the ground, waiting patiently for him to say, I'm back. He didn't do it. And at that moment, I said, fuck Jesus. He didn't work for me. And a few weeks later, my mother was so distraught from having to raise 6 children by herself that a woman on the street, she said, there's a pastor, you need to go to this church. He's a wonderful pastor. My mother said, okay. And my sister and I went. And in the process, I never seen nothing like this. This man wore sunglasses. He wore a black leather coat, and he sweated like he couldn't stop sweating, and the whole time he was yelling, "In the name of Jesus." And I heard this echo my mind. A few weeks later, that man took that family that introduced us to that church to Ghana, and they drank that Kool-Aid. That man was Jim Jones. And what that left me with is, I don't want no part of Jesus. If he's taking my friends and my family and having them die, if he's not allowing my father to come back to life, fuck him. And that's how I believe. And it was very difficult for me because I could not tell nobody that I did not believe in Jesus, and I definitely didn't have no fucking faith in him. So I couldn't tell nobody how I felt. But if you ever said a prayer around me, I would say, if you say in the name of Jesus, I would say you fucked the prayer up. And I meant that to the core of my heart. And I carried that for 40 years. Unable to depend or reach on any type of spirituality to ground me. But I couldn't tell no one because I was too embarrassed to let them know that I didn't believe Jesus worked for me, because that was the only entity I have ever heard in a spiritual life. I believe there was a God, I just didn't believe Jesus. And I carried that in my heart for a long time. And I've been to 21 programs. 21. And the most difficult phase was when they would tell me I had to turn my life over to a power greater than me. I couldn't do that. I could not grasp or even perceive an idea that I had to depend on a thing called Jesus to help me through my addiction. So I could never do that phase of the program. I skipped it. I lied about it. I've been held hostage for a long time.
When did you discover crack?
My best friend introduced crack to me when I came home from college. I never would have perceived in my greatest that a friend that I trusted dearly would introduce me to something that would affect my life for the last 32 years. Because this person who introduced me to it, if he would have told me, Donald, it's okay to jump off this bridge, you're gonna live, I would jump off that bridge because I trusted him. And so I didn't know what sprung was. I didn't know what addicted was. I didn't know any of that. I was extremely naive. I came home from college after being kicked out. My sister is at USC. She's third in the nation in scoring. I'm embarrassed that my mother is idolizing and following each and every step my sister makes. You know, I'm embarrassed that I got kicked out of college after working so hard to get there. So I came home and I asked. The only thing I knew was to talk to my friend, because I didn't know how to talk to anyone else about what do I do now. Because they thought I was going back. They thought I was just home for summer. But I was kicked out. And I went to my friend and I just wanted to talk. I just needed to sit down and air out what was going on. And He said, let's do it like we used to. We would smoke a Primo about once every 3 months. And we would play basketball all day. It never affected me. It never had no adversity in my life. And we would have a beer or alcohol, drink with it. But it was like one time and go home. So I go back to my friend and I say, come on, man, let's go get a beer. Let's have a Primo and kind of. He said, man, we don't do that no more. I said, you don't do that? They don't do that? What do you mean? He said, we play baseball. Now, what's that? We free base cocaine. What is that? How much does it cost? He said, you gotta give me $60 to be able to do it. I said, okay. Because I had a lot of money at that time. I gave it to him. He went in purses. It was his brother, me, him, and myself. I didn't know his brother and my friend were addicted. They were robbing, stealing, doing whatever is necessary to get it. I didn't know that. So they did whatever they. I'm sitting there watching them go through this ritual with this pipe and all that. And as I'm watching them take a hit, something in my heart and mind said, something about that ain't right. But I wanted to be okay with my best friend. He gave me one, and it had zero effect. I said, man, you can have that shit. I don't want that. I'm gonna smoke some. That day, and the next day, I still needed to talk about my issue, about not being able to go back. And I go back to him again. And he said, do it again. I said, okay. But he did something to that pipe the second time, which I never experienced before. And what it did was, I no longer felt the pain of being kicked out of college. I no longer felt the pain of feeling less than. I no longer felt the insecurities that I carried within me. Once I don't know what he did to that pipe, but it rang some bell in me, and that was the first time I was numb to reality and I didn't feel absolutely nothing. And then it became a 2 to 3 times a week process. And I'm paying for all the episodes. I just didn't know.
You've had jobs in your life?
I had 2 jobs in my whole life.
What'd you do?
I was administrative aide for United Way. They liked me so much, they asked me, they wrote a proposal for me to get my own program at 23. They accepted. They accepted the proposal and willing to fund it. Then my other job I had was a security guard at FETCO when I was 16. But from 26 to now, I've been basically self-employed. I started selling T-shirts in concerts. But that revolved to doing concerts, football games, basketball games. Every event that you see in California, I have a hand on it. I supply T-shirts from Seattle all the way to Houston. It's very, 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 very profitable. And that's how I've been taking care of myself. That's how I've been able to go.
You've been married?
Yes, I've been married 22 years. I lost my wife due to my addiction. I lost my kids. I lost my grandchildren. Because I decided to come out here and not go back home. And when I come, see, I don't do anything else during the course of the year. I'm a workaholic. But around the 12th to the 16th month of me being clean, I get the bright idea that I just want to woo-soo, relax. And I just want to take one hit and go home. I haven't been able to pull that off for the last 19 years. Every time I come and take one, it turns into a month, turns into 2 months. It turns into prison terms. Turns into cars being repossessed, me losing cars, and mostly me going to jail. Because I did what was ever necessary for me to continue to feel what I feel, which was absolutely nothing. When I took that hit, I no longer felt the shame of me hurting my family. I no longer felt the guilt of me leaving my family for cocaine. I no longer felt the shame because I come into Skid Row to get high because I cannot get high anywhere else. I can't get high in my city because of the businesses I own. So I come into this place to hide because any and everybody that I know has no reason to be in Skid Row. So I can come here and do it and not be judged and not be ostracized because of what I do. I've been to 21 programs. And I need to say, I didn't go to them programs for me. I went to them programs to get the grace of my mama back, to get the grace of my wife back, to get the grace of my brothers back, to get the trust that I may try one more time. But I never really wanted to stop smoking cocaine. I just didn't want to do it every day. But yeah, my mind shared, okay, I can do it once in a while. When I go to Bahamas, sitting on the beach, or Jamaica, or the Virgin Islands, or taking one of them cruise ship rides that my wife and I take 3 times a year, I might want to hit the pipe once or twice as I drift off. And that has always been one of my deep, dark secrets. I never wanted to tell anyone that I don't want to completely stop, but my mama want me to completely. My wife want me to.
Where do you live now?
Live with my mother. I lost my wife and my family due to divorce, so I moved back home. My mother been in that house city for a year. She's 96 years old, and I'm the one who's supposed to be watching over. But sorry to say, I took a hit 3 weeks ago and haven't been back home.
You've been down here for 3 weeks.
3 weeks straight.
Do you have employees?
I will not. My employees have come down here and said, Donald, please, man, come back to work, man. Give us a schedule, man. We got families to take care of and all that, man. And the cocaine dominates me in such a way in which none of that matters. My mind only shares when I'm done. But I'm coming to find out I may never be done. This shit will take me either to my grave or give me a life term in the penitentiary. Because I don't have the ability to turn it off. I don't have the ability to say, I don't want no more. I don't have the ability to make a right decision when it comes to crack cocaine. It dominates me in such a way in which I abandon my family. I abandon my mother right now. My brothers and them have to stay at the house and watch over her. I spoke to my mother and she said, you gonna be okay, Donald? I just wanna hug you. That haunts me up because I know at any moment something could happen to my mother. And I would definitely blame myself because I allowed myself to be put in a position here to not go home, to not get on that bus and go home, to not to get in my car and drive home. I gotta go home. And I'm getting real close.
Well, what is
Getting
it?
real close.
I understand you're addicted to crack. I get that. But what is it that keeps you running around these streets instead of being where you should
The
be?
phenomenal craving. I believe that now. The book says the phenomenal craving. And the phenomenal craving is something that will not allow me to stop.
I understand there's a phenomenal craving, but is there something about your subconscious self-image, your self-worth?
I don't want to feel nothing.
That's what I think might be.
I stay loaded all day, every day. I don't want to feel the pain. I don't want to think about the hurt that I've inflicted on people. I don't want to face the reality that I'm in Skid Row. I don't want to face the reality I'm in dirty clothes. I won't take a shower, won't take a bath. I don't want to face that. So the only way I can not face it is smoke cocaine and stay high. Because it numbs me to everything.
If you were able to somehow forgive yourself for whatever you feel bad about, and truly forgive yourself, not just like, okay, forgive myself and I'll drive home, but truly forgive yourself.
Man, I think I've taken a huge step today.
Just by coming here.
I came here. I heard about you years ago. They said, Donald, you need to go talk to this man. I said, man, fuck that. I'm good. But something inside of me is saying, Donald, you need to get honest with your condition. And maybe in the process of you getting honest with your condition, you may receive enough freedom to make that one decision that will change the dynamics of your life, and that's to go home and get some fucking help and accept your condition that I'm an addict and I can't take one. So I said, I don't know, I'm just walking up the street and I seen the door open. And I just asked if I could talk, and my motive was, I just want to get honest. I want to face down for the first time in 3 weeks. And maybe in the process of me facing down, I'll go home. Because that's what I want to do.
Do you understand? Like, I'm the least religious person you will ever meet, but
Okay.
there are some lessons in those teachings that are really useful in situations like this.
Yeah.
Like the fact that God, Jesus, whoever doesn't feel like you are any more or less worthy than anyone else.
I've gotten better.
You forgive yourself, and there is no one that deserves happiness more than you, and there's no one that deserves punishment less than you.
I've gotten
Is
better.
that right?
I've gotten better in that area. I can say his name, at least now. I got some acceptance in that area. Yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I don't get infuriated when you say Jesus. I was the one who walked the prison yard and would attack the Christians and their belief in Jesus. I was that guy. Today I'm not willing to attack no one. I just accept it for what it is. Because I've come to believe after all these years that if I don't find some power, if I don't find some belief in whatever entity I choose to go with, if I don't find that and believe in it, I may never have the opportunity to recover. And that's what I truly believe today. But first of all, I got to get that first 7 days and not come back. Then I have some hope that I can stay sober long term. Because it's not a problem for me to stay sober a year and a half. I do it all the time. When I leave here, I won't be back for a long, long, long time. But that's not saying I won't come back. But whenever I come back, damn.
It's on.
It's been a month, 2 months, 4 months, and I may not return. I don't know what else to say at this point.
I think if you could forgive yourself, like truly forgive yourself, and know that whoever your religious thing is, whether it's God or Jesus or whatever, would forgive you, wants to forgive you, wants you to forgive yourself, then I think you might have a little more peace of mind about this whole thing, and you won't feel like running down here to smoke.
Uh-oh.
Possibly.
I don't have an answer for that. I don't. All I know right now is I need to go ahead and clear my mind. And once I clear my mind, because I will say there is a God, He'll give me that moment of clarity or put the right person in my life in which I can deal with forgiveness. Because yeah, there's a lot of burden I carry. Yeah, there is.
Nobody, God, Jesus, and whoever, no one wants you to self-destruct.
And I do that.
And you don't deserve to
I do that on a regular
take yourself
basis.
down.
I do that on a regular basis. And you know, when I come down here, the skies are always blue. No problem. All my bills are paid. I have thousands in my pocket. I make that same damn decision. I only want one. I haven't been able to make it out since. After that one. That's the worst hit. The first one. The other ones you're just chasing. But the first one opens up the door and bringing all these feelings and these uncertainties. That I have no control over. It keeps, before I take that hit, I'm okay. If I can just make it through that moment, because it's only a moment, and not take it. But when if I take that hit, inside of me it opens up, brings my monster. It unlocks the cage to my monster. And my monster's huge. My worst dream, my worst imagination being down here in Skid Row is running out of crap. And once I get to the escape, I may run out. Anything and everything possible for me to maintain. I'm saying from robberies to jacking to petty thefts to armed robberies. I can go on. It don't matter.
And all the willpower in the world isn't going to help.
There's no such thing as willpower when it comes to crack. No such thing. It's non-existent. Non-existent. To be quite honest with you, I've been here 3-4 weeks. This is the longest I've been without a hit in damn near a month. And what's it been? 30 minutes? If I'm not sleeping, I'm smoking. And I sleep probably once 4 hours every 2 days. I've instilled, because of my size and the way I speak and talk, I have intimidated dope dealers to a point where they will give it to me just for I won't get angry. I'm a big guy, man.
You're 6'8"?
6'8", 300 pounds. You don't want 6'8", 300 pounds to be angry. You'd rather have them peaceful. If not, I'll rattle the bushes and shake pockets on every one of them. Because I don't have a fear of death, and I don't have a fear of any repercussion. Only thing I have is, I got to have it by any means necessary. Yeah. So with that being said, yes, I put my life in danger many, many, many times. Yes, I'm incapable of making a decision that's good early in recovery. When I leave here, I'm going to go get something to eat. I haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm going to call my mother. What happens after that, I don't know, put in God's hands. It's like I said, this is the longest I've gone without a hit in almost a month. Wow.
All I can say, Donald, is keep in mind that you deserve to be happy as much as anyone else in the world. And I think if you understand and believe that and accept that, then you might be able to do the right thing next time.
Okay. I don't right this moment. I be saying this is the longest I'm struggling to stay awake.
Yeah, you haven't slept in a long time.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Right now, I haven't sat this still in a long time. Here's what.
Get some lunch and some coffee and drive up to Pasadena.
Yeah, I'm going home. I'm going home. I gotta go home. I can't do this no more. Oh my God. The pain is greater than the pleasure today. And that may be a good thing. It drove me down the street to become willing to tell my story. It gave me the opportunity to be sober for 45 minutes, where I can actually say, okay, I got a better chance at making a decision now than I have since I've been here. And you know, that may be the blessing of me just being willing to come in here. I don't know. But God damn it, I got some hope. I got more hope right now than I had fucking 45 minutes ago.
You give me a call and let me know where you are in a couple of days.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my number. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you for allowing me to share.
Donald, thank you very much.
Okay.
Wish you lots of luck.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. All right, Donald, you're back.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people cheering for me. They want me to get home. They want me to go back to my family. They want me to go back to my business. They want me to go back to around the people I love. And I get to the brink of going. And then I'm engulfed by shame, embarrassment, and guilt. And that holds me in one more day. And one day turns into 2 days, you know. My mother's 96 years old. I called and I spoke to her. And she said, no matter what you're going through, baby, I just want to hug you. And you know, I was convicted by that. because I know I should be there for her to hug, for her to hold, because she loves me unconditionally. But then I think of my brothers and the people around that I have to face and deal with. I run. Because they're going to convict me for everything I do. The time that I've been in this hellhole, as I would say, I've been convicting myself of many things. I replay it over and over and over and over again. And I live in the pain of yesterday or last week, last month or last year. So when I come home and I want to go home and I want to be at peace and I want to try a different route, I get convicted by them things again. And a lot of times I'm here because I don't want to face the reality of the pain that I inflicted upon myself and other people. And by me being high 24/7, I don't have to deal with the guilt and the remorse nor the shame. But once I go home, I attempt to sober up, but I have to live in that guilt, that shame and embarrassment day in and day out. People on the outside say, Donald, forgive yourself. It's easy for you to stand on the outside and tell someone inside the picture on what to do. I'm in the picture. I don't know how to forgive myself. I don't know how to let go. You know, I don't know how to do that. And I'm paralyzed by the thought of my self-inflicted condition that I'm in. It's not society. It's not the world. It's not my upbringing. It's not my neighborhood. It's not the people I hang around. I inflict this on myself because I make a conscious decision, sober, that I'm gonna come down here and take one drink, one hit, whatever. And I haven't been able to pull that off in 20 years. And that one turns into 2 weeks, and that 2 weeks turns into a month. You know, and every day, it makes it easier not to face the people that I hurt. Every day I stay down here, it makes it easier for me not to face them. And it makes me more comfortable with my environment. Because I hate this. But sometimes we need a push. Sometimes we need somebody to grab us by the hand and say, come on, Donald, or come on, Ron. I'm gonna walk you through it. I'm gonna pull you out of this. Because me and on my own accord, I can't do it. But I know my brother, my sister, my friend, anyone drove down the street and said, right now, come on, Donald, let's go, I would get in the car and I would leave. But I can't do it by myself. I need help. And that's all I have to say on this episode. Unless you have a question for me.
No, man. I'm happy that you're working through it. Maybe a program, maybe a friend come and take you away. Maybe something like that might help you out.
Because I would leave. I would leave. If anyone within my circle and family circle would just say, Donald, come on, I would drop everything and leave. Because that's what I need right now. But as long as I don't have that, they're trying to tell me to figure it out on my own, I gotta get out of a box with the same mind that put me in the box.
The thing to remember being an addict is you have an on switch, you just don't have an off switch.
Yeah, absolutely right. I can't turn it off.
So once you turn it on, there's no stopping it.
Yeah. I've been making it a little easier. There's a person right here. on Crocker and 6th. He has like a church. He's a pastor. I thought he was full of shit because he's right there in the middle of all of everything. But he say his mission is to put people in a safe place who's doing God's will. And he's the first person I've really been able to open up about with my feelings about God. And he gives me some type of clarity because it's a peaceful place among the jungle. And it stays like that. And people around it respects it for that reason. And he's able to preach God to everybody that comes in there. And I want to go sit down and talk to him today. The only reason I'm in this domain is because what I do, I'm not convicted for what I do. I'm not shame-based. Okay, I get high. Okay, I got to come here to get high because I can't get high at home. I can't get high in my environment, my neighborhood. I can't get high in the motels around my house because my family and everyone knows everyone. I couldn't walk out to go to the store without being embarrassed. So I come here to hide because there's no reason for anyone I know or deal with to come through, has any reason at all to travel through here. Only people that travel through here is people that get high. That's it. And they're not judging me. Yeah. Let's hope I don't make another episode. Let's hope my next episode, I'll be clean and sober and I'll be able to go ahead and
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Celebrate it with other people. I still have hope. Yes. I'm grateful for these moments I'm able just to be honest and be able to release some of the anxiety and tension that runs through my mind and just be honest with my situation, be honest with myself, because it's difficult to be honest out there. You know, it's difficult. And you gave me this platform in which I can speak my truth, only if it's for 5 or 10 minutes, that may be enough. You know? That 5 or 10 minutes, I'm not drinking, I'm not getting high, so God has given me some form of clarity to be able to sit here and speak on it. But I still need someone to grab my hand and say, come on down, let's go. I still need that. Any more questions?
No. I hope you find that, and I hope things get better for you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.